Hey guys, I'm Ilya and this is episode 2 of turning Claude Code subscription an idea into $1 million SaaS. In this episode I will cover what kind of progress I made over the past 7 days, what are the improvements for the platform, where we are right now, and also the most important things I learned over the past week working with Claude Code and building the actual real product. We're gonna start with the first quick overview of the platform to check the improvements, to check the current state, and then I will tell you in more details what has been done, what has been built, and what is going to be next. Alright guys, so this is how the app looks like right now. So as you can see, there was a major UI facelift, and well, it's not perfect, but it's not as ugly at least as it was before. And even though I told you that it's the most important thing is to build core functionality first and then do all these UI improvements later, I still decided to dedicate just a bit of time to just make it less ugly, because I don't know, maybe it's gonna affect the meta app review, so it looks more like a real app, not some cheap demo. So what we can see here, the interesting stuff is that the app is on the proper domain, so it's on chat.volvix.ai, no more Vercel app things. Then there is the nice cute dashboard where we can see the number of conversations, number of replies sent by the agent, then the number of knowledge sources that are used to train the data. Then there are some quick actions, like we can edit the agent's rules, add some more information to knowledge based, test the agent, open the inbox. This is probably the biggest functionality upgrade, because last time I also said that we have this issue that the agent is supposed to be trained on the DMs of the connected IG account, and I couldn't get it done because to do this I need meta app review access. And right now there is still no functionality like this because we haven't passed the meta app review yet. But in order to do this, I need to show Meta that why do I need access to reading messages. And one of the best ways to show why do I need it is to actually show this in functionality. So here we can read the messages and we can reply to the messages, and it kind of proves Meta that yeah, we need access to these particular variables in Meta Graph API. So we can see the recent conversations here, which also looks very nice in my opinion. We can also see that the account is connected and the agent is live, which is good. So here in agent section, no changes, same old good prompt. In knowledge base, there is a bit of upgrade. So on the sources side, it's pretty much the same, no changes. But then there is a section for Q&A. So it automatically fills up with the frequently asked questions, but there hasn't been asked many questions because, well, there hasn't been going that much back and forth through my test account, so there is not much information for the agent to work with. So I added this one, for example, manually. So you just press it here, add the question that the customer might ask, and then the proposed answer. We can also delete it or edit it, and the agent should remember what to answer for this particular question. Then the test section is pretty much the same, no changes, and the most interesting part is the inbox. So here we have 4 chats with 4 dummy accounts, and yeah, they are read-only format right now because, again, I don't want to, you know, like build for building. Like, I mean, it's kind of pointless. You just have to focus on the most core functionality. So far we don't need for meta app review the reply functionality, so that's why the chats here only in the read only. So it just, yeah, looks very similar to ManyChat, except there is no reply field here. But yeah, that's how it looks like. So this is the message from this My Reva Beauty customer account, and this is what the agent replies. And interesting thing also is that you can see here it says agent paused, you're on, which means that the agent doesn't work in this chat. Why is that? So here the human in the loop functionality is integrated, which means that the agent constantly monitors what kind of messages the customer sends, and if it's something related to can I speak to a human, so the customer is not really happy with the agent or just wants to speak to human for some other reason and sends something like this, the agent says like, okay, got it, no worries, somebody from our team will contact you, and then it puts itself on pause. So right now, unless we press this resume agent button, the agent will not answer any questions, and somebody from the team from this account, Volvox Chat, will have to answer messages manually. Also important thing is that, it's a bit ridiculous message because it says, hi, I'm Volvox Chat automated assistant, and then, hey, welcome to Volvox Chat. So there is like double greeting. This is done, it's just not debugged yet. It's like very raw still because I'm working on the most important stuff right now, just like trying to ship it fast, not polishing that hardcore yet. And this double greeting comes from this actual message is the automated message that shows that this is automated assistant. So most of the chatbots or chat agents, like these AI agents you see on the web, they are focused on being as human-like as possible. And we're also kind of trying to achieve the same, but this is done specifically for meta app review because, I read that this can be a reason for rejection because they're working towards the concept where all the AI agents, they have to disclose themselves as AI agents first before starting the conversation. So even though they can be very human-like. And that's why this message comes first, where the agent says that it's automated assistant, and then the actual message that is programmed for this particular agent. So that's pretty much it. No settings, no other stuff, just very minimalistic yet. Let's go to the next section, and I'll show you what kind of bugs and issues I encountered and what kind of lessons I learned, and then we cover those. Big bug number one, my app doesn't see new messages. So what is the issue and how I was able to fix it? So when I was testing the platform with the if the messages are going through and if the agent replies, I was obviously using the tester accounts I created here in app roles in developers.facebook.com. So these Instagram tester accounts, they work obviously even if the app is in the development mode. But since the app right now is in live mode, I decided to test with real accounts, not the tester ones. So for this, I started to use these Myreva Beauty accounts. Those are non-tester, they are not linked to my Facebook, but the trick is that they are business accounts, so they are like professional accounts. And the result was that messages arrived, like no problem, it arrived to the platform, the agent replied, so all good. Then I decided to try another account, which is also kind of stranger's account to my Volvox Chat platform. So it's non-tester, not linked to my Facebook, nothing. But on top of this, this is a private account and this is a personal account. So it's an imitation of a person with the regular private account with a low amount of followers messaging your agent. And the messages never arrived to my platform. I'm like, interesting. So what exactly happened? So you can see these messages here. So this is this burner drill99.club account, and the messages were hi, hello, no reply. Don't ignore this one. This is a test message sent actually by Claude Code, so it wasn't even generated by the platform. So I'm like, okay, no answer. Why is that? And the problem is that this type of messages from private regular accounts with low amount of followers, they usually end up not in primary folder or like here or general, but they end up in requests folder. And because Meta thinks that Instagram thinks that these messages can potentially contain spam, so that's why they're in the requests. I'm sure you're familiar with this message request folder concept. So The problem is that even if you go to your Instagram app, like on your phone, and you go to this message request, and then you approve this request, it still doesn't fix the problem. So first of all, like I manually gonna approve all the messages that your customer sent you. Like, I mean, like what kind of automation is that? And second, even after you approve, the agent still doesn't reply. I'm like, okay, so that's a big of a problem. How do we fix this? And I learned that how the message sending actually works like this. Instagram, Meta, and then my app. So when the new message arrives to Instagram from some other user, it goes to Meta, obviously. Meta sees this message. And then Meta sends a post request via webhook to my application with notification that says like, yo, there is a message, answer this message. And the problem is that if the message goes to request folder, then Meta sees this message still, obviously, but it doesn't send the post request to my app. So even though the message arrived to this IG account, to our Volvox chat account, and Meta sees this message, but because there was no post request from Meta to my app, the app never knows that there was any message. So how do you solve this? Well, I solved it with the cron job. So here on cronjob.org, I created a poller. So it's essentially a mechanism that sends every second polling requests from my app to Meta with the question like, yo, are there any new messages that I didn't know about? And if there are, it just grabs this message back to the app, gives it to the agent replies to this message, and when this happens, this message automatically transfers from requests to primary folder here. And then the communication becomes smooth and instant. So the downside is that the poll request sends every second or every minute, no matter what. So there is a downside that if a user times it perfectly and sends a message just when the polling request was sent, so the user has to wait for 60 seconds till the polling request happens. Then this polling request gets this message from Meta, then the agent answers. So it takes maybe 90 seconds to answer in the worst case. Big bug number two, 2 accounts, 1 IG. So what exactly happened? So here you can see that my actual access to the app is now gated. It's so you guys don't go there and just don't create an account and start messing with it until it's not even ready yet. So in order to sign up, you need an email address, and then you get the code, and then you enter the code, and then you get in. So it's kind of like a gated entrance, but at the same time, it also creates an account according to this email address. So what I noticed is that I tried different email addresses, like also out of purely for testing, and then I was connecting always the same account, the same IG account. And what I realized eventually is that I basically have different accounts, so like for my, let's say, 2 different email addresses, but both of them are linked to the same Volvox chat IG account. And data here is obviously different, the messages, the conversations, replies, everything. So I'm like, okay, what the hell? And it's actually a good example of where AI messes things badly if you don't follow strictly what does it do. It's the same stuff when you say generate me a hyper-realistic image of a chair in hyper-realistic environment, and it creates a perfectly realistic chair in perfectly realistic environment, except this chair has 5 legs. So that's the same kind of scenario. So the dashboard looks fine, and the gated login works, and the IG connection works, everything works. But the logic, the core logic, is absolutely illogical, it's broken. So you always have to follow for these kind of small things, because these small things can create big problems. So what happened exactly is that when you were signing up with the email address, it created a separate workspace for you, so like a separate global account. And in this global account, when you connect the IG, it's kind of like this ID of the IG, it's like a local variable, so it's not global. So you can create infinite amount of workspaces, obviously, because you want infinite amount of users. but then we don't check what kind of IG accounts these users connect to their workspaces. And as a result, there can be infinite amount of different workspaces connected to one single IG account. And obviously that messes up the whole concept because, well, the data is weird, the conversations with agent are going to be weird, everything is going to be messed up and broken. So that's kind of like thing that you can prepare for it, but you just have to. That's why I'm pushing this concept that you have to understand what you're building, why you're building, and not just like like a slot machine, just pulling the handle and like trying to get a jackpot of a viral app that you don't even know how it works. So just yeah, try to understand what you're building, and you won't have these kind of problems. Alright, so tip number one, use agent swarms to audit your code from time to time. So how exactly did I do this? So it was at the end of the last week when I realized I have actually quite a lot of tokens left in my Claude subscription because, well, I use proper context window management, so that's why my token consumption is not as bad as it could be. And on top of that, Anthropic released also their latest model Fable 5, and I heard crazy stuff about about its security, cybersecurity skills. So I decided to, well, it probably makes sense to try to make it find all the possible bugs and fix them for me. So I just let it run throughout the whole night. It exceeded my token limit twice, also burned my monthly cap of extra funds in my Claude Code subscription. But well, seems the result was worth it. So it actually spun up 71 agents in total, and that was the expensive part because, well, the 65 agents did audit workflow, and they were hunting bugs, trying to find yeah, all the inconsistencies and issues. And this way it burned 3.8 million tokens, and in total it found 30 fixes. So there were like 4 raw issues, 32 unique, and 30 real bugs confirmed and fixed with the 2 false positive. So it was a great experience with Fable 5. Unfortunately, I can't recommend it anymore because, as you know, this model is blocked for now. But yeah, I guess you can also do the same with Opus 4.8, or if there is any other model you use. Just, I mean, obviously it's an expensive exercise because, well, it takes a lot of agents and a lot of tokens, so it costs quite something because, well, 3.8 million tokens is no joke. But well, this way you make your code more bulletproof, and the more often you do it, the less bugs you have, the less critical ones, and essentially like the more stable code base you have. So that's still, even though expensive, it's still a good exercise to do from time to time. Tip number 2, design. Give AI references. So what does it mean? When you actually try to create a decently looking UI design with AI, don't just tell AI make it nice or make it modern, because you 100% gonna end up with generic AI slop. So to anti-slopify it, essentially you have to provide proper references. So for example, here I found this dashboard on dribble.com, and well, in my opinion, it looks very nice, very clean, very modern. I like pretty much everything about this dashboard. So I made some screenshots, and again, we don't try to make identical one-to-one copy because, well, that's basically stealing. So we're not stealing anything, we're just getting it as an inspiration to create our own similar looking dashboard. So proper examples will give you very decent outcomes. That's one thing. And second thing, I also spin off the sub research agent, which was given 2 tasks. Find first the recent UI trends from 2025-2026, and second, find all the timeless UI design principles and combine them all into one document. So here is this document, design-research.md. This document will be available in my free school community, so you can steal it and use it for your own interfaces. So it has some kind of like foundational rules, priority order, then some timeless interface principles, just as I stated, then the trends from 2025-2026, and 3-layer token system. So it's basically a summary of what is going on in UI UX design like now, and with some sparks of timeless stuff. So I guess it does the job, because once you have this kind of research, you combine it with the references and just say it like, just update our UI design by using this design dash research.md file and this reference I provided. You can even make a skill out of this document if you, I know, improve and create some kind of like final supreme version of this. So it's a pretty good rule to get kind of like, I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect, but in my opinion, it's clean, it's nice, and well, it doesn't seem to me at least like a proper AI slope. So that's a relatively decent design that took me like 10 minutes to do. So that's the way to go. Tip number 3, have AI build tools for you, not just the product. So what does it mean? So for example, I guess you probably noticed this cute looking to-do list here on the right. And well, this is me preparing for the Meta app review, just tracking that everything is intact. So how did I come up with this? I mean, it's kind of obvious advice, but still, like, why not? Maybe not obvious for some of you. So for example, yeah, I've been like going back and forth with what I have to do with the for Meta app review, and usually to track things in my life I use Obsidian, but well, it kind of felt ridiculous to make some kind of manual to-do list, so I just asked Claude to make a summary document of all the to-do things here. I think it's in this one. What kind of things do we need to do? What kind of things Claude needs to do, and what kind of things I need to do, and just make it in the very nice list, like full list. But again, this kind of list is pretty much unreadable, so I'm like, okay, well, just can you make me an HTML version so I can open it here in my other tab like as HTML file. So it made this HTML file, and now I have this custom personalized even with the progress bar thing. So yeah. Alright guys, so this section is about Meta app review, which is quite important stuff, but it's a very overlooked aspect because, well, there are millions of tutorials how to build AI agent for IG and WhatsApp right now on YouTube, and honestly with the Claude Code it takes just 5 seconds to build one. But if you actually want to build something real, so a real product that will be used by real paying customers, then it's a bit different story, and there is some extra hustle you should do. So I mean, I have this, you probably seen it already many times, but I have this Meta app review checklist, and there are some core things that should be done. So for example, the first one is business verification, and business verification is done in Meta developers platform. So it's done here in the business portfolio. It's a very simple, straightforward procedure. I'm not really gonna cover it in details. The only important thing is that you should have an LLC registered, so you should have a company registered, and then you just enter some information in the inputs like about your business address, all that, and well, for me it took less than 24 hours to get verified, so not problem at all. Then some just basic information again, like app icon is necessary, some contact email, privacy policy URL, data deletion URL also. And yeah, these ones are actually quite important. So for example, terms of service and privacy policy URLs, those seem to be like a general documents you can create with AI, but it's not one of the main reasons for rejection. So if you build ones, you should go through every sentence by sentence and check carefully what states there, because it should be what it is like in the actual app. On top of this, there are some other like minor things, like for example, my app is gated and I will have to create account for the reviewer, so reviewer can actually access and test my app. And the most interesting part is that all the features you mention, for example, I'm talking about, for example, this permission Instagram business manage messages, which allows you to manage messages on IG and WhatsApp. This permission requires functionality built around it. That's one thing. And the second thing, you should also film a screencast how you precisely use this functionality and why do you need this permission. So the reviewer should be able to see how do you use it and what do you use it for, and then will be able to replicate themselves. On top of this, I already showed you the functionality for the inbox. So this agent post your own, so this human in the loop thing, it's not just built out of pure convenience for the SMB that will use this application, but it's also for the meta reviewers, because that's quite kind of mandatory feature. There should be human in the loop functionality. On top of this, yeah, I already explained previously in the beginning of the video this thing with the greetings. This kind of first message where the agent says that it's in fact an agent, it's not a human. So this is also mandatory for passing the review. But overall, so I'm still in the process myself of figuring it out. So once I do all this, as you can see, the list is not full, so it's only 38%, and there is still some stuff to go through. But once it's done and once I submit the review, hopefully I'll try to one-shot it from the first attempt, because it takes 5 days for the reviewer to check and either reject or approve your application. And if you get rejection, at least I read on the internet that they are kind of vague with their explanations why it is rejected. So, and also every future uh, request for approval will might take longer. So it takes not like 5 days, but then 7 days. And some people are trying to pass the meta app review for like weeks or months, and we don't want that. We want to handle the customers as soon as possible and get some customer feedback. So I'll try to one shot it. That's why I'm going so ham with all these lists and trying to nail all the small details. But anyway, once I figure it out, I also film a separate tutorial. Hopefully it will be one-shot success story, and then yeah, I will show you guys in more details like what has been done. As always, guys, if you made it this far, congrats. Hopefully this was interesting and you learned something new. So right now the biggest roadblock is meta app review, and hopefully by the time I upload my next episode next week, I will already have it settled, and then I will tell you guys that I did this and this to pass it successfully, and also build some other functionality on top of this. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. We gotta take care of meta app review, and this is the journey. This is my journey from Claude Code subscription and idea to a $1 million SaaS. And if you like it, please hit like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next week. Have a good one. Thanks.